Hello, everyone, and welcome to a short video talking about the shift. Now, a lot of us have talked about the shift, the coming shift, the shift of Earth from 3D to 5D, all sorts of things like this for years now. So a lot of you will have heard of this term, the shift, but maybe not be entirely certain what that means. So we are talking about a shift from the third dimension to fifth dimensional frequencies, a movement of our consciousness and of planetary consciousness to fifth dimensional frequencies. And as I say, it's important that we understand it's not just individual consciousness, it is the planetary consciousness as well. So, and in fact, it's not incorrect to say also the solar system. It's this our whole solar system. Earth is what is called an ascension planet. It is a planet that has the ability to make this movement. And all those beings on her, as she makes the movement, all the beings on her will move with her, whether they're ready or not. We have been, as a planet, as a collective, trying to make this shift for a very long time, and there has been very deliberate interference and very deliberate sabotage with this happening. We have kind of hit the end games where we're in the middle of what is called a stellar activation cycle, and these come around every 26,000 years. So every 26,000 years, stargates open, stellar energies align, and the ability to make this kind of movement opens up to us for a period of time. Because of what has been done to the Earth, because of what has done to the human consciousness that resides on the Earth, it was kind of like do or die in some respects. It's a bit dramatic maybe, but we really had everything to play for this time round. We had to do our damnedest to actually make this shift this time round, because otherwise the consequences were not going to be pretty. So you will have heard of star seeds, you will have heard of indigos, you will have heard of galactic ambassadors and all sorts like that. There has been a big, and I mean a huge, galactic outpouring of help to ensure that Earth at this particular time makes this movement that we have been calling the shift, that it is able to move from the lowest density, what is called density 1, within which 3D resides, into the next density up, which is where 4, 5, and 6D are. And as I say, not just individuals, but the entire planet and everyone on her. And this is a move from what is called the personality matrix, where we have a very mental focus, into the soul matrix, where it's more about working through the heart and the opening of the heart centers within us. Now, this really kicked off really around the year 2000, but we saw it really begin, things really begin to happen around 2012, where the Earth began to, higher and higher frequencies from the stellar regions were coming into our solar system, and the Earth began to accrete these frequencies. We did as well. Whenever I talk about the Earth, I'm also talking about everyone, every being, not just humans, every being on the Earth. So the Earth began to accrete these higher energies, gather in these higher energies, in order to gain momentum. It's like a rocket sitting on a launch pad, where it sits and it fires its engines up, and it kind of revs the accelerator quite a lot before it actually starts to shift. Well, the Earth has been doing the same. The actual movement began in 2017, and none of this has been taken for granted, because until it was actually done, it was not a done deal. Nobody could say for certain whether we would manage it this time, because there has been a lot of sabotage, a lot of things thrown in our way, a lot of boulders thrown in our way to try and stop this. And I know many of you will be aware of that. And maybe I'll do another time to talk about what some of that has looked like. So our planet began to shift in 2017, and you can imagine, as you see a rocket take off from the launch pad, it barely seems to move at first. It's slow, slow, slow as it gathers momentum. Well, we gathered momentum, and we gathered sufficient momentum, and we made it. We made it. And I can't tell you how huge that is. And we are now fully anchored into the next density. We are fully anchored into the subharmonics of the fourth dimension. And we are acclimating ourselves, as it were, to our new home. You see the name Tara here. Tara is the name given to ascended Earth. It's just to differentiate, really. So Earth has moved and is merging into her Tara identity. It's like we've moved address, effectively. And, you know, there's a period of settling in, isn't there? And getting used to the new space and everything like this. We are moving into that new space and that new identity. And as I said, it's not just individuals, it's planetary consciousness, and we are moving from the personality matrix to the soul matrix. So the soul matrix, as you can see here, I find this little diagram is a very, very useful one. The soul matrix takes in dimensions 4, 5, and 6. Now we've lowered it, we've anchored into the lowest frequencies of this particular matrix, which is the shift into what's called 5D consciousness, the soul matrix level of consciousness. And we've moved out of the personality or ego level, which, as you can see, are the lowest density, the heaviest density frequency levels. When we say density, you know, you can use the word frequency interchangeably there. So what is this going to mean? Well, it means that our bodies will little by little begin to drop. I mean, we've got hundreds, if not thousands of years of this ahead of us to fully transform into the new templating. And it is new templating. We have 3D, very physical 3D carbon-based templates. And those templates are shifting and changing into a semi-etheric. It's gathering in a much more silica crystalline base and beginning to make the shift and move into that. There's the activation of what were dormant DNA strands within us that are going to open up new senses almost. And many of you who are aware of this and are already doing this shift and doing this movement will be aware that your intuition has opened up dramatically, that certain, shall we say, psychic senses are beginning to move, that you're beginning to tune into other people much more accurately, that you're beginning to be able to read the planetary grids and read histories from out of the information space that surrounds us. There's a huge amount that's going to be opening up to us. We are changing as a species. We are changing, and we are changing into something, in some respects, that we've always been. Or we are going back to what we've always been, that has been taken away from us over the last dark age that our planet has gone through. We have digressed. We have had a lot of our abilities taken away from us. And that, again, probably is a story for another time, because there's a lot to put in there. and this would be anything but short if I went into it, but I do promise you I will at some stage. So we are gaining new templating, new DNA strands are activating. Our focus is going to be changing very much from a mind-based way of living and being into a heart-based. And that's going to bring in much more connection, much more sense of connection to others, much more sense of connection to the world around us. We're going to, I mean, the old axiom, all is one, is so true, but it's kind of been like something we've understood at the mind level. We're going to really feel it now. We're going to know that we are one with nature. We're going to know that when we look at our pets or an animal in the field, that actually it's just another expression of life. It is just another expression of the divine around us, and the divine moves within all of us, and we are all connected as a result of that. So we're going to be moving back into that sense of alignment, and also back into a clearer and better understanding of who we are. As I say, our templating is changing, and that templating is taking us back to our true self, to our true essence. So you will find that a lot is changing potentially in your life at the level of maybe relationships, maybe work, maybe you find that certain habits and patterns of might be falling away from you to be replaced by ones that feel more aligned, feel healthier, feel more you, kind of like the you always might have been, but weren't, because you were playing this other role. You were wearing, an ill-fitting suit of clothes, as it were. So it's very, very exciting, and we shall talk more about this in the future, and I'll do interviews with other people as well who can help you to understand what all of this means. But at this moment, what's really important is that you understand that what we need to do is we need to just understand that we have made the movement from 3D to 5D levels of consciousness. That is open to us now. And all we need to do is update our software, as it were. I've used this analogy because it's, I think, a simple one that most people can understand. If you are running, is still very stuck in the 3D way of thinking, the 3D way of viewing the world, you are running an outdated program. You need to uninstall and reinstall the new software and just kind of get with the program that we are entering a very new space now. We are becoming something different. The world around us is changing. Our understanding of the world around us is changing. And it's exciting, and it's miraculous. It's change. Many people resist it. Those who do, those who are very resistant and don't want to begin to open themselves up to this transformation, who are very stuck in 3D, will become more and more uncomfortable. If you think of 3D frequencies compared to 4D and 5D and 6D frequencies, big difference. And if you're in the earth you reside on, and your whole consciousness is trying to reside in those higher energies, while you're insisting that your body, your template, and your way of being is to remain in lower energies, you can understand what I mean by increasingly uncomfortable. There'll be a sense of pressure, a lot of stress. There may be big health issues coming in as the body itself is struggling to make the upgrade, and it's not happening. I would anticipate that we're going to see in the times ahead quite a lot of people who unfortunately are very resistant to making the shift, becoming more and more mentally unstable, and more very uncomfortable outbursts, emotional outbursts. So it's important that we all learn to align to our higher self. And we do not buy into the lower agendas. There's a lot still playing out. You only have to look at, the news cycles to see the many, many ways they're trying to suck you back. The cabal, or whatever you want to call them, the elite, the intelligentsia, are trying to suck you back into their lower timeline agendas. Do not buy into these. This is not what we're here for. We're here to dream in the new earth. And when I say dream, I mean vision, envision, sit, daydream, and just, take the brakes off. What is a new, more aligned way of living look like? What does it look like for education? What does it look like for finance? What does it look like for food production? What does it look like as, ways for our society to build itself into new structures that are much more people friendly, that put people at the heart of the way they work at every single level, where the uniqueness of every individual is celebrated, and that uniqueness is harnessed into service for the whole. So it's not about being a little cookie cutter soldier churned out of an educational establishment to go and pay its taxes until the day it dies and serve the state. It's not about that at all. Totally different. And we need to utterly deprogram ourselves from those old programs in order to bring in the new ones that are very, very people-centered. And you are a living magnet. If it's on your mind, it will be in your reality. So if you focus on the old earth agendas, you're going to be keeping them anchored in. You're going to be keeping yourself anchored into those timelines. Don't. They're irrelevant. They're irrelevant now. And it may not, some of you looking around may say, no, they're not. This is still playing out and I still have to pay my bills and things like that. They're falling away gradually, bit by bit, they're falling away. And there's more of us come together as a collective consciousness to dream in the new earth, the quicker they will fall away. We are going to have to unlearn an awful lot of what we thought we knew. We've been fed a lot of incorrect understandings, a lot of incorrect knowledge at every single level about who we are, about our histories, our sciences, what it is to be healthy, about the world around us, about the true nature of reality. So many things are incorrect. Deliberately, they were fed to us to try and keep us in a lower state of understanding. So you are going to have to learn to say, I've spent 30 years learning this. I have to let that go and I have to start again and learn the true nature of reality and the true nature of what it is to be human and so on and so forth. Hard, but very, very rewarding. I can't tell you, very rewarding. As somebody said to me today, it's like I've been given a whole new life, and isn't that an adventure? I'm sharing just some of what's in my new book, Understanding Ascension. There's a lot more. I am going to be doing more shorts and sharing more with you, and more of our history, the hidden history, more of what's been done to us at various levels. But this is a great place to start. All of my books are available on Amazon, so go and have a look. Or if you want to contact me, you can do so through my website, and I will be doing a series of webinars in the future going into more detail on all sorts of things. So sign up to my mailing list if you would like to be made aware of those as they happen. Otherwise, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and I will see you next time round. Thank you.